Hello again, it's One Fight. Playing. Can't think of his name when I want to say it. Yasu? Man, I had a way of saying it before too. Completely forgot. Anyways, playing the new champ on the PBE. He is amazingly fun. This is how he works. He has crit. It's doubled whatever his base, whatever you build on him. So you need like one item and he's at max crit. Just kidding. But he's really strong in that aspect. So you have crit. That's good. You want to build a lot of damage on him because more damage equals more damage, which equals tons of damage, and that's good. Attack speed is good, but not 100% needed. And let's see. Cooldown reduction is very important because of his way his kit's working out. It's very good to have a high cooldown reduction. I want to be going into why I'm building the things I'm building, but for the most part, assuming this guy built AD like I am, you should have a pretty interesting match. I just played one where I built this AD champion with all AP items, and it was hilarious, and I made the person rage quit. Mainly because I out-leveled him and kicked his ass, but he didn't know that, which I found funny. But anywho, notice. I took damage, health, sustain, and cloth armor. This is very important, because these are things that bruisers need. When you're in a one-on-one, you're going to need to be a little bruisery. Anywho. Okay, make sure I didn't have any AP. That'd be embarrassing.
The blade, above all things, except a good drink.
Yeah, I'm just showing you how big the ranges are, and if you can, I don't know if my resolution's high enough, but just want to show you guys what the spells would read. So we have his Q, or Steel Tempest, which is he thrusts forward. After he does that 3 times, the third one will actually knock the person up, which is very important for his ult. Then we have his W, which is Wind Wall, which, when activate, creates a moving wall that blocks all enemy projectiles. This includes towers. It's awesome. Alright, so that was the second stack. Alright, so you just saw his passive in action, and you saw my Q do its knockup. Alright, so you can see the woojie stuff around me means I'm going to do a knockup next. Turret's hurt. Doesn't matter your level. There's a wind wall he just threw up. If I had a projectile, it would negate it. Come on now. Ah. Ow. He had his knockup. So did I. I knocked him up though. So I got my health back ticking, going for this. I have my shield passive up. I just blew past him in health. Ah, I did not want to pick that. I'm not building AP. Alright, just notice how it blocked the turret hit for me. It's an amazing ability, and I love it.
This blade never gets any lighter.
That's odd. He must have been jungling.
Don't start what I'll finish.
I'm jungling for a little bit of gold because I need 11 something.
I'll give you the easy way out.
Ah. Let's see what Mr. Man built. He built a Vamp Sumter with his winnings. Why, I built a Woogle's Lantern. Meaning I have the same amount of lifesteal. I have 20 more armor than he does. And another, what, 5 damage? So, all in all, good me. Yarg.
The sword poor company for a long road.
Alright, so one thing that you can do with him is, you know how I can do my dash, and I can do my Q. But if I do my Q with my dash, he actually does a spin around AoE of awesomeness. Let's see if I can get it to happen.
Long time ago.
Damn. And there goes.
No one is promised tomorrow. Kill me. You can try. Face the wind!
Alright, I don't know if you guys saw it, but when I knocked him up, there was a dotted line heading right towards him. That was my ulti saying, hey, hit him! And it's awesome.
Some things never done.
Since I'm gonna back anyways, might than do it on the altar. I don't know why he hasn't gotten his. I'm assuming because he's an SR player. Why not? Let's build the cooldown straight out.
Step ahead of the pass.
Alright, so back we go.
Honor is in the heart, not the Just death. Nothing serious.
Yeah, notice how I just took a lot of damage and, or sorry, took a lot of turret aggro, but didn't get a whole lot of damage done to me.
I alone decide my fate.
It's pretty awesome. Just saying.
People keep running into my blade.
Man, his ult is extremely short.
Some mistakes. Justice. That's
Whee! So much fun.
no more running.
Shink. And backing. Alright.
The road to ruin is shorter than you think.
And there we go. He went completely wrong item path.
No one is promised tomorrow. Face the wind! Road to ruin.
Alright, so before this guy's rage leaves, quite sorry, here's how I'm doing stuff. Using the sweeping blade to get into position and to proc your Qs. Whether that means taking minions, whether it means you're running right at them, you have to remember after you hit that E,
My honor.
that you're actually going to be taking... I'm sorry, he got me distracted. I love boasting about this champ, but hold on one second. But anyways, what I was saying, what I'm doing to actually kick his ass, it's kind of funny. So, as you can see, I have some crit build up now. I actually messed up right there, and he could have actually... He actually could have taken me down. But he stayed in the futile super. Wow, messed that phrase up. Futile pursuit. Hot words are hard. So what I'm seeing with this guy, he is not
Never could.
an assassin like E. I see him more as an AD caster, and I'm having a blast with him. AD caster is more focused on the movement and just the flat damage. Now, as you can see, it's working pretty well for me so far. We're going to try 2 more items. Here we go. Alright,
He's no more than a
so now we're going to go ahead and try to break down what exactly I'm doing. If you notice, I'm using the E, or the sweeping blade, to get into position, and to proc the secondary effect of it, which is, while using sweeping strikes, I'll actually spin in a circle versus that straight line out in front of me. Use the wind wall to protect myself from things like the tower damage, anything that I see as a threat. So that's very important as well.
sword's poor company for a long road.
Now, you have to remember, your E is for movement, then damage. If you blow it on the champion right away, he's just going to walk away and you're going to be boned. So that's very important. The next thing we have is you want to keep track of how many swings you have with the Q. And the third one, they're getting knocked up in the air. And if you're not ready to hit that ult button, you could be in trouble. See, like right there, that was my 3rd strike, and I had no idea. I'm just spamming buttons because it's fun. So, movement, knock up, damage, followed by protection. It's pretty simple build, play style. Alright, that was my 3rd strike. And that's how you take him out. So, even though I did go in with the sweeping blade, I had enough movement to stay away from him. Mainly because I got my item done first, and he actually went with a so-so item build. But hey, that was his choice, and I don't know if he's regretting it or not, but I'm being reasonable. I'm leaving him his altar, and I'm trying to be somewhat civilized. I mean, he's stayed the longest so far. Hasn't been doing the best either. I think there's been one game where I died. But anywho. So the focus in the actual fight is to knock people up. And this is solo and in a team fight as well. Knock people up so you can smash them with your ult. It is so much fun. Now, the wind wall is a very good defensive item, meaning if he's pounding on you, correction, if you're diving him underneath the tower, wind wall is a great way to stop that damage. And you can see with the E, it's great mobility for landing up last hits underneath the tower, or anywhere for that matter. I just find it fun. And the static shiv is being set off by the Q, which is extremely helpful. I showed him a little mercy, let him be. If he stays here, I'm going to kill him.
I will not forget who I am. Follow the wind.
Alright, so, opponent found. Gotta love PBE sometimes.
One blade, one purpose.
I shouldn't have much problem cleaning up the Vile Maul. And while I do it, I will describe his skills in full. So first off, we have his Q. It's a straight thrust that applies all on-hit effects and acts like a basic attack. Now, the reason why this is important is because it can also crit, which is awesome. So anyway, we went over the Q, which applies all on-hit effects, and on the third strike, it will actually knock people up.
Some things never go.
On now, the W is a magic wall of wind that blocks all projectiles for 4 seconds, and it helps you build up your, I want to say focus, but it's not. It's resolve.
I will follow this path until the end.
Now, the sweeping blade. Oh, sorry. The last important thing about the wind wall is it will block turret shots. It's awesome. End of story. And then we have the sweeping blade, which is great character movement. If you're building AP, you want to max this first, and if you do it right, it's hilarious. So, as you can see, great mobility with that spell. And then, finally, we have the ult. It only works on champions in the air. Only. It is stupid and awesome at the same time. So, you just saw him get his ass whooped because I had lifesteal and cooldown reduction. And I spammed the crap out of my spells. And missed some too. Didn't even get to ult him. So we went over the spells. Oh, and the other thing is, after you ult, they have 50% less armor. Which is awesome. There's blocking the tower. Aw, oh, come on. Not the bullshit. I was fairly certain I had him with the knockup, but apparently I was wrong. So, we went over spells. Oh, we didn't go over his passive. Passive is probably one of the most interesting things about it. Now, his passive is a two-parter. He gains a shield when a enemy champion or jungle monster hits him. Now, this is very important because if you don't get hit by a minion, aka if you get hit by a tower, your shield won't proc. The shield amount will be for the amount of resolve you have currently. Resolve is your resource bar. So, that's a good way to tell if you have it or not. And you have this nice little yellow thing. It's pretty simple to identify. And the other part of his passive, if you notice, I have 20%, and that's it. That's all I have for crit. But yet, I have 40% crit chance. That is because of the passive. It doubles your crit percentage. It's pretty cool like that. Damn it. my item build was pretty simple. Since I only had the one person who had only built armor, I only built a little bit of armor because it was all I needed. As you can see, he didn't build any pen. It's pretty easy to identify and kill. Now, he works very well with attack damage and cooldown reduction. Attack speed is good, but I wouldn't go overboard on it. His Q does apply on-hit effects, so keep that in mind when you're facing off someone with the Blade of the Rune King or Static Shift. And finally, I love his E in this Q. It's so much fun. I really hope you guys will enjoy it when he does come out. And I hope you all have a great night.